Hey everybody, this is Todd from Wayfinder Realty, your host for Hold On Flavor. This week we lost our Great Dane Angus, so we're going to make a very rich, hearty meal. Do a little French cuisine. We're going to make Coq Au Vin, which is chicken and wine, or specifically red wine. It's a very classic dish. It's made by braising the chicken. This is not a hard dish to do as far as execution. There is some prep work you have to do. It's made with baby onions. You gotta peel the little tiny onions. I got my big sausages here, so that's a difficult task in itself. Making sure your stuff is cut up and get all set up. I also made some clarified butter. If you do not want to use clarified butter, feel free to use a high temp oil like olive oil. With clarified butter, so when you cook with butter, there's milk solids in your butter, and those will burn. So you can't go over 350 degrees, and you want to cook at 375. So you can cook all the way up to 450 degrees once the butter's been clarified and the solids, the water, and the whey has been removed. So I did that earlier. Takes about 90 minutes, but like I said, you can always use oil. So without further ado, let's get into the cooking. I have my flour here, just all-purpose flour, and I'm going to put salt and pepper in it. Good. I have skinless, bone-in chicken thighs. Some people will break down a chicken whole, and they'll use that. For today, I'm just going to use thighs. Now, this cooks in the oven for like an hour, so the bone will pretty much fall off of it, or I should say the meat will fall away from the bone. So I'm going to brown these in a saute pan with the clarified butter. If you do not have clarified butter, feel free to use a high temp oil like olive oil or avocado oil. Now, the other reason we're breading these specifically for the flours is going to thicken up our sauce, our wine sauce. Now, once these start to brown up and caramelize a little bit, I'm going to then add my garlic. You can see the water gliding around. That's how you know it's done. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of my clarified butter here. Turn the pan on. All right, if you take a look, this first batch is perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these off and put them aside and get the next batch going. Onions and bacon are coming along nicely. Once they're done, I'm going to add my garlic and then my mushrooms. So my second batch of chicken is coming along nicely. Said this isn't hard to execute. You just have to be organized because you got a lot of things going on at once. So that's 5 cloves of garlic. Next up, I've taken white mushrooms. I didn't break off the cap. I shaved it near the bottom, and then I cut them into quarters. Cook those up. I got some fresh thyme here. As soon as I introduce some wine here, immediately everything from the bottom comes up, which is exactly what I wanted. So now that I got some of that oil out, I'm going to put that back in. Okay, the type of red wine really doesn't matter. You want to have a floral focus. I'm using Pinot Noir. The old adage is, don't use anything in cooking that you wouldn't drink, because obviously after this cooks down, it's not going to taste any better. But we're going to cook out the alcohol because we're making our wine sauce. So, half the bottle, and we're going to let that simmer and reduce. Okay, you don't need it on too high of a heat, but the wine will thin out almost into a demi-glaze. If you do go ahead and make clarified butter, you can leave it on the counter. It's very durable. In the refrigerator, it'll last longer, probably 6 months. But understand that when it is in the refrigerator, what's going to happen, it will firm up. There's nothing wrong with that. You just want to heat it up. Take what you need out of it and heat that up. Thin it right out. Now, it's really not about me stirring it as much as making sure I'm scraping the bottom of the pan. I don't want anything stuck on the bottom of the pan before it goes into the oven. Chicken broth. I'm going to add a couple bay leaves into here. Okay, I'm going to reintroduce my chicken now. I'm going to set it on top like a pinwheel. See, the chicken is mostly submerged. It doesn't have to be all the way in the liquid. And that's perfect, just the way it is. So I got my oven preheated to 325, and this is going to go in the oven for 45 minutes to an hour. And you can cover it. Hey everybody, it's time with Wayfinder Realty, your host for Sold On Flavor. This week, Coq Au Vin, or chicken and wine. This is an excellent meal to be shared with a friend in your new home. If I can be of assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Till next week, take care.